Hello, a very good morning. A warm welcome to the my dear students of ninth class, boys and girls. Warm welcome to the session 17. In that we are going to learn last concepts, some of the last concepts of population. Okay, so before we start our lesson, as we know, we have a customary pray. Everything has to be done with prayers. Every good thing has to be done by prayers. Good thing you are attending online class. So it should start with prayer. God will help you. Okay, so our prayer is Vande Matram. So let us start.
Vande Mataram, Sujalam Sufalam, Manayasya Sitalam, Sasya Shyamalam Mataram, Vande Mataram, Shubha Jyotsna Pulakitayogini, Purnakusumita Drumadana Shobhini, Suhasini Sumadhura Bhashini, Sukhadam Varadam Mataram, Vande Mataram, Vande Mataram.
Okay, keep standing. My dear students, let us have pledge. You are with your parents. You will take pledge that you will respect your parents by being at home. Is it not? And also decide that you have to respect the country and teachers. Okay, so let us take the pledge.
Pledge. India is my country.
India is my country.
All Indians
All Indians
are my brothers and sisters.
are my brothers and sisters.
I love my country
I love my country
and I am proud of
and I am proud of
its rich
its rich
and varied heritage.
and varied heritage.
I shall always strive
I shall always strive
to be worthy of it.
to be worthy of it.
I shall give my parents,
I shall give my parents,
teachers,
teachers,
and all elders
and all elders
respect
respect
and treat everyone
and treat everyone
with courtesy.
with courtesy.
To my country
To my country
and my people,
and my people,
I pledge my devotion.
I pledge my devotion.
In their well-being
In their well-being
and prosperity alone
and prosperity alone
lies my happiness.
lies my happiness.
Jai Hind.
Jai Hind.
Okay, take your seats. My dear students, sit down. Anybody is praying for, anybody has done the assembly sitting on the bed? Okay, that is wrong. If you're doing that, he is wrong. He is not loyal to the country. Okay, prayer should not be done on the bed, in bed, in night dresses, isn't it? So you should be well hygienic before the class starts and well prepared to sit, not in sleepy faces, sleepy eyes. Okay, you should be fresh. So let us start. Please listen. Fag end of the lesson means end of the lesson. This today will end the population chapter of geography. Okay, so let us start. Okay, we are studying different concepts of population, effects of population. Okay, on different concepts regarding population. Today we will study about health of the population. Okay, how is the health of the population of India? That is the topic today. Clear? Health is wealth. Have you heard this? Health is wealth. Means health is the biggest wealth. If health is that, then only you can survive. Wealth is then nothing, no use. So there is a quotation. If health is, if wealth is lost, nothing is lost. If health is lost, something is lost. But my dear friend, if character is lost, everything is lost. So two things you have to keep here. One is health. Wealth will not be much useful to you. Okay. Health is most useful to you. If you have good health, you can enjoy the wealth. Wealth you're having, but no health means gone. No use of that wealth. So therefore, health is. If the health is not good, your lot, whatever your income is there, whatever your money is there, that all will spend for that one. If health is not good. Wealth is good. You can enjoy the wealth. Okay, and you do not have much wealth also. Health is there. Good means. Because you can earn your living and okay, and you can earn your means. And the more important thing is that character. If you lose your character, everything is lost. Okay? So this quotation came in the light of the health of the population. We emphasize that health is the most important component of population composition. A country having healthy population is an asset, valuable asset for the country. If the population, health of the population is not good, it is a loss for the country's development. Okay, it has adverse effect on the development of the country if there is no healthy population means. So therefore, we can say that health is the most important or one of the important component of population composition, because healthy population helps in development of the country, economic development of the country, social development of the country, political development of the country, all in all spheres of development, healthy population is required. Okay, all decision makers, they should be healthy, then only they can take a right decision for the country, isn't it? So that is one example I'm telling you. So health population, health plays a very important role in the economic development or the development process of the country. Now let us see what is the condition of Indian health, India's population health. Since independence, we cannot say about British government because British government ignored the health of Indians during their rule. They are bothered about Indians. But ever since we got independence, whichever government was there, whichever government came in ruling India, they all tried their level best to improve the health conditions of the population. They took serious efforts. A lot of money was spent on health. And therefore, we can see because of there are a lot of improvement in the health condition when we compare to the years when India newly got independent. And that we are going to study which are those improvements we have done. India has got Indian population health, how it improved, how government played an important role by allotting a lot of fund, a lot of budget, a lot of money to the health sector, creating a health ministry itself, a separate health ministry is there. And now see, the most important ministry nowadays is Ministry of Health. All decisions are coming from Ministry of Health. Entire country is run by the Ministry of Health and Ministry of Home Affairs. Now see, other ministries have become not that important now because of the dangerous spreading of pandemic Corona, COVID-19. See, now government is concerned about health of the country, population, health of the population of the country. India is very much concerned about that. And therefore, health ministry is playing very important role nowadays, making all types of policy and implementing strictly lockdowns and other things by which other rules and regulations started by the Ministry of Health and Ministry of Home Affairs. Okay, implementation is done by Ministry of Home Affairs, and health condition policies are framed by Ministry of Health. For example, how to get away from this pandemic when there is no medicine, there is no vaccine. What is the method? They came out, Health Ministry came out with a plan, and that is first, social distancing. Second, wearing of mask. And the last and the most important, washing of hands for 20 seconds with soap or hand washes. You have to sanitize, isn't it? So that is going on. See, this is how we can say that in health conditions, keep the health condition of the population of the country is the responsibility of the government. The government is doing all these things. Is it not? Then we are following it strictly. So therefore we can say that in India, health condition of the population has improved because of continuous efforts of the government. The government is from the since independence, a lot of efforts have been taken by government of India to improve the health condition of the population of India. Let us see what are those steps taken by the government of India since independence. Okay. So we can come to know the health condition through census only. Census is one of the methods by which we come to know. So in 1951, we compare the health conditions of 1951 and compare to the present day conditions. Okay. The death rate, you see, first death rate has declined. Improvement of health condition. If the death rates are declining, means decreasing means conditions are improving. Health conditions are improving. Earlier, before 1951, health conditions were not that good, and during 1951 also health conditions were not good. Death rate has declined, reduced from 25 per 1,000 population. Okay, per 1,000 population, 25 people used to die in a year. It has become 8.1 per 1,000 2001. So only 8 people are dying. Approximately 8 people are dying per 1,000 in 2001, and they compared with 1951. So this what there is nothing but decrease of death rates because of improvement of health conditions of the population. So this one proof that health conditions of the population of India is improving because we are able to create decrease in death rate. Because 25 people are dying per 1,000 population in 1951, it reduced to 8%, approximately 8% per 1,000 in 2001. Yeah? Next is your life expectancy. Means a person when he borns, at that time, what will be his life period? Up to how many years he has to live alive? That is called as life expectancy. Average years of life he will live. That is counted at the time of his birth. From his birth date, that's why it's called life expectancy. So let us see the expectancy of life, how it is. Life expectancy has increased. Life expectancy at the birth has increased. Okay, life expectancy has increased. Number of people are staying for a long time nowadays. Earlier it was just 36 years. Just 36 or 37 years, you die. In India those days, in 1951. Why? Because there was no control on diseases. No vaccine, no medicine. People are dying with cholera, malaria, a small flu, any type of ailment is there, they die. No medicine, no vaccine was there those days. Because British government did not bother to look after the health of the population of India. So no infrastructure was there, no health facilities were there, no big hospitals were there, no corporate hospitals, no other hospital, no proper government hospitals, no private hospitals. Most of things were ignored. The health conditions were ignored. Therefore, life expectancy, people used to just live for, when they born, from the date of birth, they should just stay for 36 to 37 years and they should die. In 1951, that was the situation. Very, very less years. 36.7 years. But you see how much jump. In 2001, it is 64.6 years. life expectancy has increased from 36 years to 64 years. Lot of improvement. Because here again, why? Lot of diseases are under control. So we'll come to know what are the factors responsible for increasing public health, how the death rates have decreased, how the life expectancy has increased. That all conditions you are going to learn now. It's clear? So remember now that death rates have declined. This shows that health condition of the people have improved. Life expectancy at birth has increased. This shows that there is improvement in the population of the country. Health population of the country. Okay? Health conditions of the India's population has improved. So what are the factors? The factors which help in improvement of this public health, people health. These are the steps. Prevention of infectious disease. Infectious disease means there is now whatever having infectious disease. The disease which spread very fast. One person to person spread very fast is called infectious disease. Those days cholera, malaria, all types of common diseases which are now available. Those days were as infectious disease. Okay, cannot be controlled. Disease which cannot be controlled. Out of control. No vaccine, no medicine those days. So, but by the time 2001, we got the technology. We got how to arrest the disease. We have to stop the disease through vaccination and other methods. Then application of modern medical practice in diagnosis. Diagnosis is done by modern machines, medical machines are there. With the help of modern diagnosis, you can find out the ailment, what is the problem with the particular part of the body. Earlier this type of facilities were not there. In India, no facilities were there for diagnosis. A person is sick, he does not know why he is sick. Okay, but nowadays if you are sick, they can find out through diagnosis method whether you are suffering from low BP, you are suffering from high BP, or you are suffering from high sugar, or you are suffering from low sugar, or you are suffering from bone fracture, or you are suffering from heart in a hole, okay, or you are suffering from blood circulation, or a blocking of arteries, anything, whatever happening in the body structure, whatever ailments are now, there are diagnosis there. You can find out through medical equipments are there. Latest medical equipments are there. With that, we can find out what is the ailment. X-ray is there. Okay? So with that, we can find out. We can diagnose properly and we can find out exact disease, exact sufferings. And then for that, we have treatment of all ailments, all types. What are the sufferings are there? What are the diseases are there? We have treatment for that. After diagnosis, treatment is there. And people are taking treatment. Okay? People are replacing the heart itself. One of the treatment is replacing heart. Transplantation of heart, transplantation of kidney, transplant of all vital organs, liver, everything. Every part of the body can be transplanted. We have the diagnosis facilities and we have the treatment facilities. So therefore, people are living for long years. And it has come to an extent that nowadays people are staying up to 70 years approximately. Okay. Average age is 62, 64 to 68, but still people are staying above 60, 70, 80 also. Because of this modern diagnostic method, by modern medicine, by treatment, modern treatment methods, okay? And life expectancy increased, death rate. Question is asked to you, why is population of, how can I say that population of India's health condition of India's population is improved? How can you say? Then if you talk about death rate declining and life expectancy increasing. Then what are the factors that help in the improvement of public health? Then you should write these three factors which help in the improvement of public. But a lot of steps the government has taken for improving the health conditions of the people. Despite of that, despite of good achievements and improvement of health situation, but there are still some matters of serious discussion. Serious matters are there about health condition of the population. Overall, we can say that the health condition of people is improving, but there are some defects also. there are some negative points also about India's health condition, and you will be astonished to know that. Okay, that a lot of people are there still in India not able to get basic medical health facilities are not there. In many villages, there are no, in spite of spending so lot of money, is being spent on health conditions, and but in spite of that, there are some places in India still primary or basic health facilities are not available. You have seen many times the TV they show that a pregnant woman has been taken by carried on the shoulders to take to the nearest hospital because no primary health centers there. Because they are not working, no doctor available. Like this, lot of things are there. Lot of negative things are also there in India's health conditions. So therefore, we can say, despite of good improvement in the health situation, still there are some matters of very great concern. Serious concern means lot of think very seriously on that and take action, and so that India's population health condition improves. So what are those? So there are some serious concern of India's population health condition, and these are the concerns. The first concern is per capita calorie required consumption is below. As you know that a human being requires certain calories of food, energy in order to life the life can be in the body. In order to get energy, and that is called as calories consumption. It is said that in economics, it is said that a person who is working in rural areas, he requires about 1,224 calories of food. Those in urban areas, they require about 900 calories of consumption. So it means what I want to say is that all you're going to study in economics, but now here remember that per capita calorie consumption is below. People are not getting proper food. This one statement says that per capita calorie consumption is much below, means people are not getting, not a section of society in India, they are not getting proper food. All 3 times they are not getting food. Okay, they are not getting. All those type of things are there, which in detail is going to study in economics. But now presently we understand that there is a certain section of people in society who are not getting proper food. All 3 times a day they are not getting proper food, and therefore population health of that particular section is not good, and therefore their health conditions are going down. And you don't take proper food, there will be the body lose immunity from diseases, and they suffer from disease and they die early. Then malnutrition, very common in India. Malnutrition is very common in India. Okay, malnutrition, the poor people who are not able to earn much income, they don't have much income, they suffer from malnutrition. Okay, so malnutrition means again not eating proper food at a proper time, not getting food all the 3 times a day. Okay, and the food, at all they're getting food, they're not nourished food not getting, nutritious food is not getting, and the quantity of food also is less. Not taking nutritious food, and the quantity of food they are taking less, leads to malnutrition. Malnutrition leads to various types of diseases. Okay, various types of diseases which cannot be cured, and people die early. So that is also one of the reasons why serious concern that some section of society in India are suffering from malnutrition. Okay. Now, availability of safe drinking water problem is the most important. Water here, my dear student, water is spelling, that water should write. When writing notes, you copy from the content, right? Means you'll be caught, you'll start writing this and you'll be caught. So be careful. Safe drinking water, WATR water. Strict safe drinking water problem is there in India now. Now also it is a burning problem in India. Therefore, now water is coming. Potable water is there. All other you have to have a potable water in bottles. Okay, earlier when we are students like you, we never saw potable waters. No bottles for drinking purpose. Tap used to be there in the home, and when we are like you, a tap used to be in the home, and the government should supply the water, drinking water thrice a day. And with that water only we used to drink water, and the same water we used to take bath, and we also used for cleaning utensils and other purpose, washing clothes, everything. Such was the problem. That was the water condition, and there no problem. But day by day, water, because of rising population, resources of drinking water facilities have become non-existent. Day by day, groundwater deep going down, no drinking water. So conditions have changed completely nowadays. Now this generation, they don't know what is tap water, drinking water tap by municipality, supplying by municipality is not found in much areas. It's found some urban areas only. Otherwise, if it all also there, people don't depend on that because polluted water. So they depend on portable water through the bottles. Okay, you can see in your school also you have a potable water for drinking, is it not? That is called as safe drinking water problems are there in India, and there are a lot of waterborne diseases because there is no safe drinking water facilities in India. There are waterborne diseases. Okay, a lot of harmful bacteria, viruses are there in the drinking water, and people consume those water and they get various types of disease and they die. So population, the serious concern of India's population or health condition is worsening because of also this shortage of safe drinking water facilities, especially in rural areas. Urban areas, they can go for cold drinks, they go for bottled water and other things, and they even drink the coconut water to get their thirst. But in the rural areas, this problem is there. Okay, safe drinking water facilities are not there. If it all is there, it's contaminated by industries. Okay, industries are throwing their waste in the water. If they dig the ground and take out the water, then also that water also contaminated because of industrialization, urbanization. So there is no safe drinking water for a section of society in India. Therefore, this is a serious concern for them. Then basic sanitation facilities are not there. In village especially, basic sanitation facilities means washrooms. The meaning here is basic sanitation facilities. There are not toilets and washrooms in villages. Despite of various programs started by different governments, despite of constructing basic sanitation facilities free of cost for the population of rural area, but still there is certain population in the rural area which does not have basic sanitation facilities like washroom and toilets, and they have to go in open places. So such type of people are there, and this is creating a great concern for the health conditions of these people. Is it clear? So what is the question asked to you? What are the concerns of India's health condition? What are the concerns of India's population health condition? Then write these points, okay? Now comes next topic is your adolescent population. Adolescent population. Some may not understand what is meant by adolescent. Some may understand. But those who understand, those who not understand, those understand, here is, I am making them understand. Adolescent is a section of society, a section of society, a section of population, a section of the population who are in the age group of 10 to 19 years. Okay, those who are in the age group of 10 to 19 years, they are called as adolescent section of society. They belong to the adolescent population. Adolescent population, they are who? All those who are in the age group of 10 to 19 years, they are called as adolescent. So you all are in 9th class. So it means your age is between about 10 and below 19, I know. So it means that you are all adolescents. So you have to be very careful by listening this lesson, this topic. It is applicable to you lot, you population lot, your age group. We are learning about your age group now. You are learning about your age group, health conditions. adolescent population. So you are called adolescent population. Government is taking on new rules, new policies for this population. Okay, so it's very important. So in India, there are large number of adolescent population. Large number is there. It's about 1/5. 1/5 of the total population of India is adolescent population. 1/5 of the total India's population is in the age group of 10 to 19 years, and they are called adolescent population. As I told you, adolescent population are those who are in the age group of 10 to 19 years. 10 to 19 years. Yes, up to intermediate. When they complete all the students up to intermediate. Okay, on completion of intermediate also, they will be adolescents. Okay, so these are the age group. So from 10, from between the age group of 10 to 19 years, they are called adolescents. Is it clear? So this group. Why the government is concerned about this group, because this group, you are the lot who are the future of the country. You have to shoulder the future responsibility of the country. The present generation will disappear. As per the term, they all will go from this place. They leave the earth, leave this planet, leave this world. In place of them, you have to shoulder the responsibilities, my dear students. And therefore, this adolescent population is called the resource of the future. If the adolescent population is strong, if the adolescent population is healthy, they can be and well trained, well educated, then what will happen is they get an ability to shoulder the responsibilities which we all citizens are shouldering the responsibility now. So those all responsibility, you have to shoulder it. You will be responsible for that. So in order to make you responsible, this age group, 10 to 19 years, adolescent population, separate rules have been taken out. Separate rules and regulation policy has been made, framed by the government of India to look after this adolescent population. And therefore, separate topic itself is kept in your population lesson for your age group. That is adolescent population. So to alert you, to make you understand and make you alert that how important is your life period now. So those who are ignoring this, those who are not understanding their position in society, this age group should now wake up. You people should wake up and understand and follow what is being told in this lesson. Okay, first is what? Nutrition requirements of adolescent populations are higher than those of normal child and adult. Normal child, adult. Child, that is small child up to 9 years, up to 9 years boy child, and adults who are above 19 years. These children, these are not required, they are called normal child and normal adult. And few people are called adolescent. So those are in age group of 10 to 19 years, they require more food. Nutritious food you require more. Because you are in the building stage. Your bones have to become strong. You have to create an immunity in your body to control various types of disease. Entire air is full of diseases, all types of dangerous viruses, bacteria, etc. And in order to get away from this, you have to create the immunity among the body. And this is the time of 10 to 19 years. This is the age where you have to create a immunity in the body. You have to create a immunity in the body by taking nutritious food, special nutritious food. Not food which is just without any nutrition. All types of food you should take. You should not ignore it. Fruits, vegetables, all fruits, clean food. Okay, so nutrition requirements are more. We cannot skip lunch, dinner, break. I see many boys and girls of your age skipping the breakfast. Dad is scolded, mom scolded, teacher scolded, not taking breakfast. In school, during the class session, your teacher became angry on you because of your misdeeds. you skip that lunch. You don't take lunch properly. What is this? We're skipping our lunch and dinner. Little scolding my parents. This boycotting of dinner, boycotting lunch. Okay, staying hungry without taking food. So these are all called as ignoring the nutritious requirements. You can see, keep in mind, my dear student, whatever happens, whether good or bad, always keep in mind, take this food, nutrition, lunchtime, breakfast time, breakfast, dinner time, dinner, lunchtime, lunch. Don't skip. At this age, you should not skip these things. You should take it. You should not ignore it. Little sickness, you ignore the food. Okay, little food is not tasty, you ignore the food. By chance, food has become untasty because of little salt or more salt, or it is little chilies are more in the food. You try to create problem and don't eat it. That should not be attitude. Okay, then it is not always. No, it happens sometimes. Such type of food is sometimes only. So you should adjust it and consume that food, not that throw the food. So and you stay hungry. If you throw the food and stay hungry, you are at loss because your nutritious food is not going to your body for that day. And like this goes on. You go on jumping or skipping lunch, dinner, breakfast throughout the age from 10 years to 19 years, then you suffer various types of bone diseases, various types of other ailments will start. And you will not be fit for jobs also. Little job you do, you become sick. Okay, so these all reasons will start. So therefore, my dear students, as you are in this age, I'm making attentive that never ignore lunch, dinner, breakfast, and take good food. Okay, don't take bad food. Don't take all types of junk food. I want to tell you now here because this age group is very much loving junk food. Junk food is nothing but a poison. That's all I can say. You may love it, but it is 100% proved. It is a poison. I don't want to go into details of this, but when you are in the class, you remind me. I shall tell you the internal things of how these junk food are made. After listening me, then you will, I think, hate junk food. Okay, so that it is. For example, just to tell you an example of Pani Puri. Most dangerous, poisonous food on the roadside. Most of the Pani Puri vendors' stalls are by the side of drains, gutters. By the side of gutters, drains on the dirty lanes of the roads. All heavy traffic is going on and a lot of dust is coming and falling on that. Drains, a lot of things are coming from the drains and falling on that. Plus, there is no water. No water. You can go and see that. There is no water there, facilities. Is it not? So, how it is manufactured then? Who has manufactured, when manufactured? All these are mystery. But people are consuming left and right as a tasty food. Okay, so that is more like this. There are many junk food outside which makes you weak. A lot of health problem will come and you will not get nutrition. So therefore, I advise you as a teacher, social science teacher, as the topic is there in your syllabus, it's my duty to advise that you should be hundreds and hundreds of miles away from junk food. If you listen, okay. If you're not bothered, you will face. Okay. So here my advice is that be away from junk food. Eat the best food is the food made by your mother. She made the food with so much interest, so much tasty that you eat food. Okay. All types of nutrition are there in that food. Cleanliness is there, taste is there, everything is there. Quantity is also there, good quantity is there. So that's all it is instead of going outside. Okay. Here, wherever spelling mistakes have been there, for those students who are copying the content from this video and on submitting, they will be caught. So such types of print mistakes are made by me purposely in order to catch those people and deduct the marks. So therefore, you have to, you are compelled to listen. But there are something which are I'm asking from the listening point of view. Question on based on listening, and question based on my corrections, which are the content. Okay, so they'll be caught. Anyway, next step is, the first step is, the most important source for the future is, for the adolescent is nutritious requirement of adolescents. Nutritious food should be given. Special food is there. Means not the food eaten by child and adult is not good, not that sufficient for the adolescent. They require nutritious food. Poor nutrition of adult population can lead to deficiency diseases. Means if you don't take good food, if you don't take nutritious food, if you take junk food, what will happen? Poor nutrition. That is called poor nutrition. Intake is not there. Full nutritious food intake is not there. Then it will lead to deficiency. Various types of deficiency will take: vitamin deficiency, carbohydrate deficiency, protein deficiency. Each different types of deficiency will there. Okay, and your growth will stop. Stunted means stop. Stunted means stop. Your growth will stop. When the growth will stop, your body posture will change. Some are bending, some are turning towards the left and walking, some are turning towards the right and walking. They cannot walk straight. Okay, some cannot sit properly for 5 minutes. Okay, somebody's hands are not working, legs are not working. So that is called growth stunted. Sometimes brain will also get stopped working. That much intellect you will not be having. No nutritious food, brain will not develop. Brain will not develop. You cannot learn new things, and you will be fed up with what teaching, etc. You will not take interest in learning. You don't have fresh mind. Okay, so like this, growth is stopped. You can say, if you don't take good food, if you don't take nutritious food containing all types of vitamins and proteins and all other things, your growth will stop. Your mind growth will stop. Body parts growth will stop, and will look like a patient. Many population in this group are looking like patients. They suffer from various types of diseases. They fall sick very often, isn't it? So these lessons are purposely kept for you, because in this age group, so that you learn from this and change your way of consumption of food. So therefore, you should take nutritious food. In India, a diet available for most adolescents is not sufficient. In rural areas and the people who are very poor, and many people are, see, this adolescent population not only in the middle class and rich class, and higher upper middle class, lower middle class, upper class and high rich class, all is not confined that also. Even in the poor society also, this age group is there. So they are also not getting proper diet. Okay, they don't have money to have proper diet, and therefore they suffer from various types of. This is therefore the government is providing them ration cards, get the minimum nutritious food. They're providing them free meals in the schools, government schools, and that is food is nutritious. They provide nutritious food is provided, so that their children should, because most of the children are in this age group, so they wanted to give them the proper food, because they are not getting proper food in the school, in the home, because of poverty. And here they are giving, government is making a lot of programs in order to see the diet should reach to the adolescents. So therefore, in India, diet available for most adolescents is not sufficient in all nutrition. The government is making good policies and trying to send the food, but because of adulteration and the implementation of the food programs, adulteration steps of food security, that all is not done properly. Implementations are not done properly because of corruption, and therefore sufficient food is not reaching to the adolescent population in the rural areas. Is it clear? Then, among the adolescent population, there is one section of people who are called, whether they're rich or poor or anybody, a large number of girls are there who suffer from a disease called as anemia. Okay, see these people who are in the age group of 10 to 19 years, girls especially, they suffer from a disease called as anemia. Anemia means shortage of blood. Okay, in their body, there will be blood shortage because they don't take proper food. They don't take nutritious food. They don't take whatever the food provided by the parents. They ignore the food. They skip the breakfast, lunch, dinners. So such type of girls, they suffer from shortage of blood. So as they suffer from shortage of blood, so therefore it is a duty of the girls to have a nutritious food. Okay, so large number of girls are not having nutritious food. Therefore, they are suffering from anemia, shortage of blood. They are suffering. Is it clear? This is one section of society which is suffering in all groups, whether high, rich, or poor. Every section of society, economic section of society, the girls are suffering from anemia. Not all, certain. Okay, they are not taking proper nutritious food, and those girls who are not taking nutritious food, they will suffer from anemia. So here is a warning for the girls here that you should take proper food, nutritious food you should take, not junk food you should take. Take nutritious food at home, homemade food you take it, and that will be full of nutrition. Fruits you take, green vegetables you take, proteins you take, pulses you take. All these are tasty things. Take it, okay, and eat it, and you'll not suffer from shortage of blood. Okay. So this problem of adolescent girls have not received much attention in the process of development, because this is a serious problem. Shortage of blood is a serious problem among adolescent girls, and in this not much attention has not been taken into consideration. Okay, this being the not discussed in public. These things are not discussed about in public about shortage of blood, etc. About anemia not discussed. So therefore, this problem of adolescent girls are not getting much attention in the process of development. Means society or the parents, some parents, and even the policy makers, the government also, they're not giving much attention in these matters, and even the girl is not taking much attention toward this development. Okay, so this is a very problem the adolescent girls are facing. This problem of adolescent girls have not received much attention in the process of development of the population. Okay, how can be done? The adolescent girls have to be educated, sanitized. They have to be sanitized of the problem they suffer. Okay. So as these are private matters of the girls, so therefore these things are not much discussed in society, and the girl suffers and does not know what to do, and because nobody is there to give her knowledge about this on these matters, and she suffers. Okay. So therefore, adolescent girls have to be sanitized. Means they have to be well educated. They have to be made aware by the parents. Okay, so that they don't suffer in silence. They don't suffer in silence about their shortage of blood. They should not suffer in silence. So therefore, the meaning of this is that adolescent girls should be given proper awareness, proper education about this anemia, about this disease called as anemia. So their awareness can be improved through spread of literacy, especially the girls who are in the rural areas. They don't the illiterate girls are there. Okay, so for them it is mostly required. So the awareness, how can we sanitize? How can we create awareness among the adolescent population of girls? That through spread of literacy. Give them education, and when we spread the basic education, and when we give a lot of education to them, automatically they understand the need of taking nutritious food to avoid the serious ailment called anemia. National population. Next topic is your national population policy. Government of India has made a population policy, rules and regulation. That is called policy. Any type of policy, rules and regulation which are called population policy. We recently had lockdown policy. Means what is meant by lockdown, what are the rules and regulations we have to follow in lockdown. So that is called policy. So here also, Government of India has made a policy on population, and that is called as National Population Policy. In short, you can call it NNP. NNP, National. Okay, it can be called as NPP, National Population Policy, not NNP. It is NPP. Okay, in short, you can call it NPP, National Population Policy. It was started in 2000. This policy was made in 2000. So let us study about that. The Government of India decided that the planning of family would improve individuals' health and welfare. Means if the families are very big, suppose the earning person is one in the whole family and the family is very big, if the family is not planned in a proper way, then that will cause a lot of problem, health problem and welfare problem with a lot of other family. So like this, compare a family like this, then we compare the entire India. So therefore, Government of India decided that there should be a planning of families. The first important rule and regulation of National Population Policy was to plan, people should plan their families. Means they should have planning in the family according to the income. If the income is less and children are more, means that family will not be much happy and they will not get resources. They suffer from various types of food problem and other problems, and they suffer from diseases. So Government of India says that there should be a planning of families first step. And therefore the Government of India started a family planning program in order to see that people are compelled to plan the people of India should be made to follow the population family planning. So therefore in 1952, Government of India started family planning program. Okay. Not everybody made compulsory that all married people, they should make their family in a planned manner. And that is called as family planning program was made, and they were to implement it from 1952 onwards. They should plan the family. It should not be too big. Family should not be too big. No, you should not produce more children. Okay. So that time they gave the slogan that there should be only 2 child. Nowadays the slogan is 1 child. Okay. Family welfare program was promoted responsible and planned parenthood on the choice basis. This family welfare program, I told you now, that was made in such a way, it was promoted in such a way that people should not be compelled. Again, they told that family planning method you adopt as a choice. You want to adopt? Adopt. You don't want to adopt the family planning methods? Don't adopt. We are not compelling, government did not compel it. But gave the slogan that there should be 2 children those days. And now the government says that they should have 1 child. Okay, but it's not compulsory to accept by the parents. This is the parents' choice. Okay, left to the parents' choice. So implementation of family welfare programs, implementing the family planning program is just a voluntary basis, not compulsory. So in this way, National Population Policy came into existence in 2000. This way, National Population Policy came into existence in the year 2000, which gives that there should be family planning. And the other things are also there of this National Population Policy. First is the family planning program should be implemented. The other things of this National Population Policy which came in 2000 were as follows. They ask you, write about the features of National Population Policy 2000. Then you should write. According to 2000 Population Policy, according to National Population Policy 2000, what is given there? It provides a policy for giving free and compulsory education up to the age of 15 years of age. The population policy, next rule is, first rule is implement family planning program. The second is, all children below the age of 14 years of age, they should be given compulsory, they should go to school. Compulsory education should be there for them, and that too should be free. Then, it also made the policy, it also made a rule regarding reducing infant mortality rate. Infant mortality rate. You know what is the meaning of infant mortality rate? Infant means just one child is called infant. So here infant mortality rate means, in short, it's called as IMR, infant mortality rate. Means when a child is born, uh, that whether the child is able to survive, that is called infant. That means for every 1,000 births, if 1,000 births are there, how many children are dying? How many children are dying? That that should be reduced. Infant death should be reduced. For every 1,000 children are born, today suppose 1,000 children are born in India. Okay, in that some children will die because of various ailments. That number of children who are dying, that is called as infant mortality rate. That is called as infant mortality rate. So population policy says that means here why the child is dying because after the birth because because of ailment, because the mother has not got proper food at the time of her pregnancy, or it may be that because of various types of diseases, she might have the mother might have got or child might have got that disease after the birth. Various types of ailments will be there after the birth. Maybe that may be the reason. Malnutrition by mother may be there. So therefore, a malnutrition child may take place. So like this, there are a lot of reasons are there where the child dies after birth. So it means that every 1,000 children who are getting born in a particular year, no, not year, in every 1,000 children born, okay, out of the 1,000 children, how many are dying? That is called as infant mortality rate. So that is below 30. Should the rate it also made policy made the population policy made that we should reduce this infant mortality below 30. Should not be more than 30. More than 30 people are dying for 1,000 children born means it is a serious matter. So as per the 2000 policy, national population policy, it gave a target that IMR should be below 30 per 1,000 live births. Okay. Then it also wanted to achieve universal immunization of children. Immunization means to give you vaccinations so that you are getting away from various types of diseases. You will be away from various types of diseases. So entire children community, entire children of the India, universal. According to NNP, National Population Policy 2000, it wanted to give vaccination to all the children against all types of preventable diseases. All vaccine preventable diseases. They have vaccine. All those diseases where vaccine is available, they wanted to give them vaccination, injections to them so that they can get immunity towards all types of preventable diseases. So that was one of the program started by the government according to the 2000 National Population Policy that entire children of the India should be immunized. Vaccination should be given to them for preventing diseases. Now, whether disease has come or not, before only we give. Before the disease arises, injection is given to you so that if we are prevented from disease. So we are waiting for that disease, that one vaccination now. We are waiting for a vaccination. That's why schools are not reopened, no? We are waiting for a vaccination. The world is waiting for a vaccination or a vaccine where they can stop the spread of this pandemic corona. Otherwise, it is dangerous for the school children. No, the children are very risk towards immunity. They may not have immunity towards in their body to control this type of dangerous disease. Therefore, you see, schools are delayed, daily to get delayed, and it is now expected that after August only. After means you have to celebrate your Independence Day in home itself. Okay, so after August means September or sometime it may not be there, may not be in September, October, right? Whatever. Okay, therefore you have to give a lot of importance to the online classes, my dear students, now, because school may not open at all because vaccine is not there. Don't open school. You cannot maintain social distancing strictly in schools. You know, some students will be then nobody wants to put the risk in life. You know, so therefore vaccines are must before the open the schools. If not at all, there are some preventive measures that will be taken. Permanently, you cannot close the schools now. One academic year is possible, but others, so therefore government is planning that. Anyway, why we let us come to the topic here, that national population policy, one of the policy is to immunize all the children in India with, with a vaccine for preventable diseases. Then in the policy it says that it wanted to promote delayed marriages for girls. See, earlier it was like that girls used to marry at very young age, 13 years girl, 12 years girl, 11 years girl, 10 years girl, 13 years, all girls at the age of 13, 14, 15, they were getting married. And if we marry, it is said that if the girls is marrying early, the girls have the capacity to produce more children. So if we delay the marriages in girls population will be healthy. And if they delay, they become well educated and they get good jobs also. If they are married at the young age, then they will not be developed properly and they suffer from various types of problems. Again, their life is spoiled. So therefore, they want to delay the marriage in girls. If they get married, delayed, then she marries at a particular adult age. And what happens is she can manage the house. She knows what is the good, what is better for the family. If a child is married means how she can manage the family. She doesn't know how to take decisions, and therefore the family suffers. Therefore, the government wants to promote delayed marriage. By this, you can reduce population also. If the marriage is delayed among girls, the population can be reduced. And this is one of the important points of national population policy, that they want to reduce the marriage age of girls. And making family welfare program, they want to make family welfare programs. So here they are made now, as according to this now, present marriage age for girls is 21 years. A girl should be married at the age of 21 years and the boy should marry at the age of 25 years. If a girl is married below 21 means the parents will be arrested for child marriage. They violated the Child Marriage Act. According to Child Marriage Act, no parent is allowed to marry of their girls below 21. Okay, so it's offense now. If the girl is married at below 21, she is offense. And same way, if the boy is married below 25, it's an offense. So therefore, they have fixed the age. Girls should marry at the age of 21 and boys should marry at the age of 25. So this is one of the important aspects of national population policy. Okay. Now, separate national population policy 2000 was framed for adolescents. As you know, adolescent population are very, very important for the development of the country, because these adolescent population, the age group of 10 to 19 years, have to shoulder the responsibility. They are the resource of the future. So, keeping in this view, national population policy has framed a separate rules and regulations for adolescents. So when the question is asked, what is national population policy factors, features, then write that previous one what I told you. If they specially asked, what is national population policy 2000 for adolescents, then write this adolescents. If they're not telling about, if they're silent on adolescents, if they just tell write what are the factors of national population policy, you have to just write about those which I told earlier. Okay, you not add this. This is only for the adolescent population of who are in the age group of 10 to 19 years. So let us start this national population policy, especially for adolescents. National population policy 2000 identified that there is a serious need for greater attention for adolescent population. As I told you earlier, also came in the lesson. A lot of attention is required for this adolescent population, because their needs are different. Therefore, a serious attention has to be made. We have to identify what are their serious needs. Okay, for the adolescent population. 2000 NPP, National Population Policy 2000, identified that there is a serious need for greater attention towards adolescents. We should give a lot of attention towards this population. Therefore, government made a separate policy. The government of India made a separate NPP. The government made a separate NPP, National Population Policy 2000, for adolescents. And the features of these policies are as follows. So before that, the thought of the day for the boys has to be kept by Cheguveru. Cheguveru from boys, and from girls, Rupa has to keep the, because in the lot Rupa name came after lottery. Rupa's name came that she should keep from girls. Among the boys lottery system, Cheguveru boy of 9th class has to keep the thought of the day. Is it clear? Now the general knowledge question. General awareness question for 9th class boys and girls. Listen very carefully. Who is the chairman of ISRO? ISRO. ISRO means Indian Space Research Organization. Indian Space Research Organization, ISRO. Who is the chairman of that? Who is the chairman of ISRO? Okay, ISRO is responsible for sending satellites in the space, and it is also recently sent a satellite to moon. Is it not? So that department, who is the head of the department? Who is the chairman of the department? I repeat the question for your more clarity. Who is the chairman of ISRO? Full form is National Indian Space Research Organization. Is it clear? So that is the question. Now we are in the National Population Policy 2000 for adolescents. What are the features of this policy? What are these? What are things available in this policy? Okay. First is a nutritional requirement. Means they should be given special attention towards their nutrition. Means the parents should provide proper, or the government should provide proper nutrition facilities to this population. Okay, this is the first one. First. The second is they should encourage delaying marriage. Marriage of the girls should be delayed, and there should not be child marriages. Okay, and people means the parents should, or the government should encourage that marriage is delayed, and the government has already done that. It has fixed the marriageable age of 21 for girls and 25 for boys. So encouraging delayed marriage by this is one of the policy of adolescent population, so that it becomes strong in the life, that organ development takes place. If marriages are delayed. Providing food supplements for nutrition services. Okay, to provide food supplements, a special food we have to provide them, and nutrition facility has to be provided. Services should be given for the children of this age group. Then legal matter should be, law should be made such a way that they should prevent child marriage. Despite of marriage age fixed for girls for 21 and boys for 25, still there are a lot of child marriages in the country, and therefore when there is law, but the law is not strengthened. So there one of the important methods by which they wanted to give a lot of importance to this adolescent population is that we should make a legal system. A law should be implemented strictly, and action should be taken against those parents who are indulging in child marriages. Okay. So therefore, this is the National Population Policy 2000. Point number 2 and point number 4, your parents will explain you. Okay, number 2 and point number 4. Ask your parents when they have a spare time. Ask a mother and a father. They will explain it better than me. Okay, because they're parents, you're under them. So that's all. I think we come to the end of population lesson, and we shall meet you next time. I shall meet you next time in economics. We will start economics new lesson. Economics new lesson will start the next session. Okay. So thank you, my dear students, for staying this so long with me in this session. And let us now have a national anthem. Then you can disperse. Clear? So let us start. So as I told you, one more important announcement I will do. As I told you earlier, and I gave a notice in the group also that I'm going to start a reasoning, because reasoning is must for your competitive exams. From this age, if you have a habit of solving reasoning questions, then you can get good government jobs. Okay, so therefore, let us have one reasoning question. Okay, whenever slip tests are conducted, during the slip test, among the slip test, one question I will keep concerning the general reasoning. That is not concerned with syllabus at all. The question is not from syllabus at all, my dear friend. I will not ask from syllabus. It is a general reasoning. You have to reason out you have to apply your mind and solve that question. Take out the answer of the question. Okay, so once you do the reasoning method, the first question will be much difficult for you, because I think it's first time for you. But afterwards, onwards, you come to know the nature of asking question, and you know what you understand what is meant by this reasoning questions. This is to develop your reasoning ability. Okay, and we come to know who are the people who are just having bookish knowledge, and those are having actual brain. Actual brain people will come out with the reasoning. Intellectual brain will come out with the reasoning questions. Is it clear? So that is there, and the same rules will follow. That is, first two answers will get points. Teaching to me. Okay. So now to get ready for your national anthem. Then we'll discuss. Is it not? Are you feeling hungry? Or thirsty? Okay, after discuss, you can take your lunch and drink water also. So here is the national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंग विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलधि तरंगा शुभ नामे जागे तब शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता
Okay, Shriram, that is the end of national anthem. And thank you for standing for 52 seconds in the honor of national anthem. Thank you, my dear students. And before disperse, keep in mind that you should have a nice day, and for this purpose, you should stay indoors. You should not come out. If you come out, use mask and maintain social distancing. Okay. Bye.